Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys just some little ways that you can play with your little one in the pool, but at the same time getting them used to being in the water and getting them comfortable in the water, because I know that's a really big thing, especially in the summertime. So one of the first things is making sure you're comfortable in the water. If you're not comfortable, they're gonna definitely feed off of that and notice that you're uncomfortable as well. When it comes to one of the biggest questions I always get is about getting their face wet. There's no really right or wrong time about getting their face wet. It's kind of whenever you as a parent are comfortable. So for people, or for little kids like Sophie's age, if they get their whole face wet, it's not gonna traumatize them. A lot of parents, I find, think that if they dunk their child at an early age, they're gonna traumatize them, but that's not the case. But if you're not comfortable, you can always just do little things like getting their faces wet. So by taking water and dumping it on them like this. See? Is that nice? Getting their face wet, getting them used to the water. You can do this in the bathtub as well. You can also do little progressions, so getting their shoulders wet and then their chin. So Sophie, you ready? We're gonna get our shoulders wet. Ready? Oh. Ready? Are we gonna get our chin wet? Ready? Let's get our chin wet. Oh. Good girl. And just giving them praise afterwards, being excited for them. If you do want to dunk them, one trick that you can use is if you blow in their face. A lot of the times at a younger age, they'll actually close their mouth and close their eyes. Doesn't always work, so it's not a guaranteed, but depending on the age, it does work for a little bit. And we're gonna get Miss Sophie's face wet. Sophie, are we gonna get your head wet? You ready? You ready? Sophie, look at me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, good girl. Good girl. And just be super excited when they come out of the water. Have a toy ready for them if you want. But if they come out of the water and you look terrified, then they're gonna feed off that. But if you're super happy and excited, then they generally are okay. Don't want the ball? Don't want the ball? No? Okay. When it comes to floats, different ways that you can hold them. I like to hold underneath the armpits and then lay them out on their belly just like this. And then that way I can always keep eye contact with them and I can talk to them, smile. But if that isn't comfortable for you, you can always hold underneath the chest and underneath the belly. If Miss Sophie will let go of my bathing suit, let go. You're okay. Ready? Ready? You're okay. Yeah. She doesn't want to let go of me today, which is fine. Okay? So you can hold underneath and encourage them to kick their feet. Ready? We're gonna lay on our belly. Ready? Ready? Can we kick our feet? Can we kick? Kick, 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 kick. You're okay.
Sophie, can you kick?
Kick, 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 kick. And you can also encourage them to blow bubbles this way. So Sophie, can you blow bubbles? Can you do that? Can you blow bubbles too? Not today? Anything you want them to do, if you can do it for them and mimic it, then it'll show them what you're wanting. Sometimes when you're at home too, you can practice them blowing bubbles. If you give them soup or anything, get them to pretend they're blowing on like soup in the water. Hey, can you blow bubbles? Or can you stick your tongue out? Can you stick your tongue out? Can you do that? Not today? That's okay. Not today. When it comes to being on their back, a lot of infants, especially at this age, aren't very comfortable on their back. A lot of the times it becomes the water in and around their ears, which is totally okay, but you still want to get them comfortable. So to get them on their back, I always like to put their head on my shoulder. That way I can prop their head out of the water if need be, if they're not comfortable. And I like to hold around the chest and then one hand under the bum, but you can also hold both hands underneath the armpits just like this. Or you can hold one hand under the legs, one hand across the chest, whatever's most comfortable for you. And again, like I said, I like to prop their head out just so if they're not fully comfortable, I'm a little bit closer to them. And here you can also sing some songs, a lullaby if they know it, to get them more comfortable. But Miss Sophie seems to be pretty comfortable. Hey? You seem to be okay. Hey, you can always get a toy to distract them. What's this? What's that? Oh, and can we kick our feet? Ready? Can we kick? Kick, 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 kick. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, kick, kick. Can you kick? Can you kick? Can you kick on your own? Kick, 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 kick. Kick, kick, kick. No, not today. Biggest thing when it comes to being in and around the water with your little one is just keeping them comfortable and not pushing it too far, but also not just giving up if they're kind of getting upset a little bit. So if Miss Sophie was crying, we'd see how long it would last, but try and get her to push through it a little bit. If they're crying in the water, it doesn't mean that they're uncomfortable or they're gonna be scared for the rest of their life because of it. Just might be a bad day. Maybe they didn't get enough sleep that day and they're just not having it. But don't be afraid to push past that a little bit and not just give into it. I find a lot of parents, if they get into the water and the first time their kid starts crying, they're instantly out afterwards, but their child's never gonna learn that way. So you sometimes have to just push through it the best you can, obviously without leaving them screaming at the top of their lungs for the entire time. Whatever is best for you or for the little one, and just keeping them as comfortable as possible. Hey? Oh, oh. Hey? Hey? Are we gonna swim? Can we swim? Can we swim to mama? Swim to mama. Ready? Kick your feet. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, kick, kick.